In some real estate sales contracts, you have a seller that will go under contract with a buyer that has to sell their house first. That is where you would put into the sales contract a contingency kickout clause. Basically saying, I'll go under contract with you. I understand you got to sell your house first. There are some other fine details that we'll talk about right now. Hello again, it's Reggie Moon with Eclipse, USA and Associates, brokered by EXP, telling you that if you don't enjoy what you do, you will never be good at it.
Call or click 404 Eclipse.
So now you're under contract, right? Your seller has agreed to the terms that this buyer has written in the contract, obviously, but there's one huge stipulation that says, hey, before I can buy your house, I got to sell mine first. That's when you use a contingency kickout clause. Now, imagine this. He's got to sell his house first, and while you're under contract, let's say you're closing in 40 days. And while you're under contract, an agent calls that understands how the contingency kickout works. Listen, most agents don't understand it. They think, hey, all I got to do is offer you a little bit more, and you'll break the contract with the one you got. Or all I got to do is close faster. Or all I got to do is, have fewer contingencies or stipulations, and you'll go under contract with me. That's not how it works. And agents that don't know how it works, they're probably not going to call you and say, hey, can you explain this to me? They're too prideful. That's not going to happen. But just know this, a lot of agents don't really understand the contingency kickout. Okay, so you got an agent that does understand. They write you an offer, and now, by the way, they have two options. If they have a buyer that likes your house, they can either write a backup offer, which I'm going to talk about in another video, or they can just write an offer and say, hopefully my offer will be good enough that you kick out this other guy. Well, here's how that kick out part works. Let's say you get a second offer and your seller likes it. He's like, yeah, I want to go under contract with this one. You can't just you can't just kick him out of contract. Here's how it works. You're going to say, Mr. Buyer that has to sell your house first, I got another offer. I'm going to give you 72 hours, whatever it is in the clause. I'm going to give you 3 days. You got 72 hours to remove that clause, that contingency that says you got to sell your house first. Now, most of the time the buyer says, what do you mean? I got to sell my house first. I'm not going to be able to remove that contingency. Well, if you can't remove it in 72 hours, then the contract terminates. You get your earnest money back. Sorry, it didn't work out for you. I'm going under contract with somebody else. You can't just kick the guy out because the second offer is more money, a quicker closing. Maybe it's cash, no appraisal contingency. They don't have to sell their house first. You can't just say, I like this one better. Let's break the other deal. You have to give that buyer that's already in first position, you've got to give them a time frame. Hey, I'll give you 48, 72 hours. Remove that contingency. And here's where the rubber hits the road. Imagine that he's got 15 days and he's hoping his house will sell. He's hoping his loan will get approved to buy your house. And he's like, you know what do I have to lose? Sure, I'll remove the contingency. The way to prevent that from happening is your seller says, okay, I appreciate you removing that contingency, but I need more earnest money. If you're really confident that your house is going to sell so you can buy my house, and you're really confident that after your house sells, you're going to qualify to buy my house, I need more earnest money. So that is the mechanics of how a contingency kickout works. Call me anytime. It's Reggie Moon with Eclipse, USA and Associates, brokered by EXP.